We're talking about Final Fantasy XIV's patch 7.3, The Promise of Tomorrow. It's right around the corner. We're going to run through all the good stuff, all the important stuff you can expect in this patch. We're going to be talking about the latest raid, new story quests, my most anticipated feature, the new Deep Dungeon, and just tons of little things coming out with this patch. Patch 7.3 is launching on the 5th of August. Some stuff is going to be time gated and it won't be coming out straight away, but we'll go through all that. We've got things the developers have stated and shown, and I'll share some of my own thoughts. First thing I really want to mention is an entirely new system, and that's the new chat or speech bubble feature. Don't worry, you're still going to see what other players say in your chat box, but you're also going to get visual speech bubbles in game. Now, it probably doesn't sound that exciting, but I think this is a really cool new feature that's going to make your whole experience more immersive. Weirdly, this new feature will be disabled by default, so on day one, don't forget to go into the options and enable it. Big new piece of content is the new Final Fantasy XI themed Alliance raid, Sandoria, the Second Walk. That's a new 24-person raid, so we've seen a bit of the capital city of Sandoria. There's a rainbow in one of the shots, and if you played Summoner in Final Fantasy XI, you might realise that's Carbuncle. There's a rainbow in the sky whenever someone unlocks Summoner. The attention to detail is incredible. There's also the surrounding Ronfor forest. This marker here is what used to lead to Burning Circle Notorious Monsters. And it used to trade currency like Beastman Seals to have a chance to fight special bosses for special rewards. Used to be really hard. This one leads us to Kirin, who is the main god in Sky. That's the place we went to in the previous raid, Juno First Steps. And it seems like Kirin summons the other gods during his fight. That's Seiryu, Suzaku, Genbu, and Bayako. It sounded like Kirin might only summon one god during the battle, and it's random each time which god it is. Looks like we're going to the snowy mountains behind Sandoria. It's called Busadine Glacier. Lots of gigas, I nearly called them ogres. There's towers like this in that zone that lead to Sayoja, and that's where we fight Diablos in the original. Really excited to see exactly what we end up doing. We do fight Eldsnarsh and Camelnort, the big bosses of the Rise of the Zilliot expansion pack. I don't know if these two make up a single boss fight and we fight them together, or if they count as two separate bosses. It looks like we also fight Ultima and Omega Weapon in the sky, a Chains of Promethea airship battle. I don't know if this is a trash fight or a boss fight, probably a boss fight, but at this moment in the original, Bahamut makes a big appearance. No sign of him so far though. I think Bahamut might be an iconic fight to have. We're going to have to wait and see what the real 4 boss fights are going to be. Maybe we even get a face off with Promethea. A few 11 armor sets were shown, including Prusha's clothing. Bit unusual, we're going to Sandoria next as the quote second walk. The first raid was Juno, the first steps, but you generally go to Sandoria before Juno in the original Final Fantasy XI story. I'm just really happy to return to the world of 11. And on the topic of old Final Fantasy games, consider subbing to Bytes or liking the video for more content like this. Cover lots of RPGs, you might like my Final Fantasy series, where I'm replaying them all and ranking them against each other as I go. Thank you.
The audacity.
So there's a lot of the usual stuff you'd expect to see. Of course, there's new main story quests. Devs promise the story will be a bit longer than normal patches, and there will be high quality cutscenes. This will be the finale of the 7.0 story that began with Dawntrail. Thank God I'm ready to move on to something new. And those story quests do include a new Final Fantasy IX themed dungeon, the Meso Terminal. You might recognise some of the locations, like what I think is the inn/restaurant in Alexandria. There will be an unknown new trial fight, normal and extreme modes. They're actually keeping this trial's identity a secret. We did get this hint preview image though, and the developer said the fight itself will be a little bit longer than the others. The next Unreal fight will be Stormblood's Seiryu Trial. Unreal fights basically let you challenge old extreme bosses scaled up to the current level cap. And I think my most anticipated feature is the new Deep Dungeon, Pilgrim's Traverse. These are roguelike dungeons with procedurally generated floors, very cool. Just be aware, this Deep Dungeon is one of the pieces of content that will not be accessible until patch 7.35 is made available. There's a lot to talk about with this one. So this Deep Dungeon is going to work a bit different to the previous ones, and it's designed for everyone. Basically 100 floors, big boss on each 10th floor, but this time you can be grouped up with strangers in a match party for all floors. If you die, you'll have to restart from a previous floor, but there will be more generous restart points than in previous deep dungeons. There's also new weekly challenges for your challenge log, and floor 99 is a big scary boss, the final verse. But if you go even further, floor 100 is a special quantum boss fight. And I think this bit is really cool. You earn offerings, then you can spend different types of offerings to customize the stats of the final quantum boss. If you really want, you can choose to make the quantum boss insanely tough. The developers said at full power it was tougher than a savage raid boss. You get a higher quantity of rewards based on just how difficult you make the quantum boss. And speaking of rewards, 2 mounts were shown, as well as some other ones, a chandelier mount, a ram and surfboard. Not sure all of these come from the deep dungeon, but I imagine the surfboard is from Cosmic Exploration. As with previous dungeons, you can choose to run this solo with unique achievements to earn and a solo leaderboard. Ultimately, the developers have designed this deep dungeon for everyone, from casual to hardcore, and the developers will be seeing how this deep dungeon goes, and they might use the feedback to design other content in a similar way. There will also be a new treasure dungeon, Vault Oneiron. These are special dungeons with the opportunity to get loads of treasure. A portal to these dungeons may spawn after doing high tier treasure maps. This one involves slot machines and a few cosmetic rewards were shown. New quests are on their way to upgrade your phantom weapons, which are Dawntrail's relic, but they won't be available till patch 7.31. And what you need to do will be drastically different from the previous stage. Developers say it might be a little bit easier or less stressful, and after you've earned your first upgrade, it's easier for other jobs. Patch 7.35 will have new side quests that continue Hildibrand's side story. And another thing for 7.35, the new allied society, that's the Yok Huy, the troll-looking beastmen that originated in Final Fantasy XI. These daily quests will be for crafters. In patch 7.31, there will be some new updates for crafters and gatherers in the Cosmic Exploration. That includes better GP management, as well as an entirely new planet, Fania, where you'll be able to use your mounts this time. When it comes to player versus player, we're getting Series 9, which functions like a pseudo battle pass. There's also a new PvP rank season with 2 new ranks, Omega and Ultima. And the Crystalline Conflict is getting a new map, the Bayside Battlegrounds. A few new cosmetics were shown that are earned from PvP, and there's a few little updates, like you'll be able to queue casuals as a group of 2, the Purify ability is getting a rework, and some status effects are getting bigger visual effects. And we've got tons of other little updates to blast through. Viera and Hrothgar are getting a little update to some of their headgear, letting you turn ears on or off. Bosses are getting a new cast bar in the user interface, and this one will be enabled by default. The Cutter's Cry dungeon is getting support for duty support. Phoenix Downs are getting an update, you'll be able to purchase them and use them in a few types of duties. There's some new crafter and gatherer armor sets, and what has definitely got to be the most important update, the most requested feature of all time, a Mahjong update that adds Wuklamot, Koana and Bakul Jaja voice options. While there's no new content for Occult Crescent in 7.3, there are some updates on the way. You'll be able to queue into the Southern Horn as pre-made 48 player alliances, and there's some updates to quickly get you into the Fog Tower raid. And in a live letter, a raid planner feature was shown. This won't be coming, but it's a sneak peek of what's to come in future patches. External versions of these are used in Extreme and Savage content, so it'll be really useful to have something like this in-game. And quick mention, there's 3 seasonal events on the way. Moonfire Fair starts early August, The Rising, that's the anniversary event, that's going to start late August, and All Saints Wake, which is mid-October. Right, that's all the good stuff. The full patch notes are usually available the Friday before the big patch comes out. Really looking forward to experiencing the new Alliance raid, and can't wait to do the new Deep Dungeon, Pilgrim's Traverse. Just a peek, it's pushed back to patch 7.35. Don't forget to enable the new speech bubbles feature in the options when you update to the patch. And have a good one.